Okay. Well, you want to do some video? I mean some audio. I bought this Target guy at the gun place on Stimson, and I thought, it might be an interesting, subject. So what I did, it's just a piece of paper. So what I did was just glue these on to here on canvas, each one of them, and then that one. And then I just set about painting. This was my first one. And I had, and this is a photocopy of my mural on just around the corner here. So I thought, well, I'd put that on there and then make it look as if it's a reflection on this building here. So I painted that in and then made it into a building. And then this part in there is supposed to represent the Twin Towers. And of course this would be Osama bin Laden. And I painted this. It was a larger face, and I thought, no, I don't want that so close. Make it more of a ghost image. He's in heaven now. I guess he's got 72 virgins. And then I began painting this. And let me get over here. Painting this one, just experimenting with colors. The whole thing I just experimenting with the figures and with colors. And these dots here are where I shot pellets just to have fun with it from the pellet gun. And then next I painted the one over to your right. And that one is kind of, that's not finished yet. I got to do something with a cloak on the right side of the body, maybe. It's supposed to have kind of an oriental face. And the finger is both fuck you and also a kind of a levitation. So I thought I'd call it Levite, or underneath that, levitation. And it's all just using that paper figure as is. And then the third one I did was on the upper right, and that one's got some gold spray paint on here, so the different angles it shines more. And things just are coming to me. I don't really know, exactly what they don't have any meaning to it. They just experimenting with shapes and colors. And this is a photo I took. This is the actual photo here I took of myself. Here's the camera making a shadow on the street. And after I made the photo, I thought, oh, kind of interesting, make it kind of a flying image. And these are all pellet gun shots. This, I don't know what that's doing in there. That's nothing. It's all flat work. Then the next one I did was this one over here. Let's see if I can block out some of the sun so it doesn't get too much good. I don't know what it is. It has something to do with aggression, like stopping this thing with a hand. Maybe it's a Buddha thing, I don't know. It's all design really with some kind of the symbolism in there. Here's another pellet shot. I just shoot into the painting. and just experiment. I kind of like the face of the coloration of this green and like a kind of a light orange. I like that. And I'm thinking around here on the edge, I might paint a shadow figure all around it to make this now this part stand out, and then gradually we'll go like a light or a medium gray around it, and then get gradually darker. So it looks like it's in kind of a shadow area. And then the fourth one I did was that one right there. And the AI that came up with that idea, meaning Amnesty International, and here's a bunch of pellet shots there. And then this is real bark here, this stuff and this, so it's rather three-dimensional, and these are some guy's hands with chains on them. And I'm just experimenting with the level of this over here, so it acts as a background. And I thought, I don't think it's finished yet. In fact, let's see, this one is finished down here, and I think I've done enough on that one. And this one is finished, and that one may be finished, although I might do a little bit more with this white so it really pops out more. And as I said, this one I have yet to do the background, but I'm thinking of a kind of a green, this is a cutout from some magazine, green color in the gray. And then this one, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to emphasize this more as a gun, because he's the Amnesty International hero that's going in there to save this guy in some dungeon. And I thought once I get it done, I thought I'd just roll it up, put it in a tube, and just mail it to to AE in New York and say, if you can sell this to make funds, go right ahead and do it. And at first, this darkness was red, so it was all red. And then I thought, no, I need more of a relief. So I made it into some kind of a building there, this thing here. And it's basically all design work. It doesn't have to be a building. And this is lighter here as a reflection off of this. Shows, well, I don't know what it shows. So it's just all experimentation, and this is like the sun, green sun, meaning the plight of people who are in prisons and being tortured and everything. And then I did this line here to make this part of the guy's shorts overlap this. At first that wasn't there, and I thought, no, that's not enough dimension. And I'm purposely painting him real soft, not so definite edges as these are. This is just as an experiment, and I'm thinking the next one I do where I use this same target guy, paste it on or glue it on there. I can experiment with having fuzzy edges, so I can get into kind of more of a shadow figure. That's where I started from, and it just with this one here, rather than such a definite shapes and objects. And the whole idea of that is to experiment with this idea I've been thinking about for a long time, of talking about the other side, like the other side of life, you know, what's shadowy figures. And this one I like a lot because of the coloration there. Something about that that I like. And so on this one here, this is the same figure as all of these, where the arm is like this and it's like that from the original Target Man target. And then I just cut the figure apart and began experimenting with positioning the arms of the figure in different ways. So in part it's just experiment with coloration and figuration, design ideas, and then with painting itself, see if I can get some kind of realism in here, or semi-realism, kind of an abstract realism. And then this one, this is a piece of copper plate that I had left over from when I was taking etching in the late 60s during my master's work. And so I just painted this on there. It was all black, and used it for pellet gun. Yeah, here's a pellet hit, and so I realized that I had to have it at an angle, or the pellet would bounce right back at me. So it was just fun. Here's a couple pellets here. I don't know if you can see the indentations in there, the shiny part. And it was just fun to sight in the gun. So that's that. And then this screen is something that I've used on another painting. Then I thought I might use it on this one, where I just lay it on there. And I tried using spray paint, but it bleeds too much, and I want definite holes. So I hold it on there tight, and then take a brush with some paint on it and just dab it on there. So I end up with a whole bunch of dots. And then over that, then that would be in the background. Then over that, I'll kind of fuzz it out a little bit so they're just barely visible. And I'll probably use a light, maybe a white or a yellow, like this yellow-orange up here in there. Problem with that is that I don't want to equate this with that, because it then flattens out the image. So I'm trying to keep this central and have this in the background. So I might use a dark color, so it looks like it recedes way in the darkness, and then use gray over that, and then a dark all around the figure to make it stand out more. I don't know what this is. Some of this is just intuitive painting, and this still is a little bit odd. I'm not sure, but I might just keep it that way because it is odd. So that is that. And then next, I want to do, this is a drawing I made. It shows the skeleton of someone during a nuclear holocaust, and it looks like it's an X-ray, and all that's left of the person is just kind of his essence and the skeleton. I call it Run Fast. And I might make this in to a large piece like this. Problem is when I buy the canvas, I've got to buy about 25 feet at once. Well, that's not really a problem, but I did these within about maybe 3 weeks, and now I'm kind of lost interest in them as paintings, but I definitely want to finish this one over here. And so doing the border is going to be significant. But I was experimenting with this border here. First it was green, and then I picked up too much of this, and I want that to stand out by itself. So I chose blue, and this one is red, and I might get rid of this white and just do all of this red, maybe a dark red, to give it more dimension. And I imagine these figures or these shapes here probably have something to do with the times, the war times, and the finger at the Iraq War. And the same with this, probably something to do with some kind of violence. And that shape up there, this one, is more of a psychological meaning, that it enlightens the figure here. Some kind of, a shaft of inspiration. And then these are definitely antagonistic shapes. And this one here is just basically to balance the figure so that your eye stops there and it goes back this way, and gives more emphasis to this arm holding back whatever this is, or stopping whatever this is here. And then these numbers are on the actual original, and this on the actual original target shape that I showed you first. This one here kind of interests me more in terms of developing a composition. I tried to make this look like the side of a building going up all in the distance, and then it comes forward there, and then it kind of comes at an angle with this. So they're just different ideas, kind of a composite ideas. And if you look real closely here, you can see a couple eyes, a mouth, so it's a face. And then this probably is Osama bin Laden's halo now while he's in Allah's heaven with his virgins, or something like that. It's mainly just playing around with images, and that's about. And then there's this lady here, which I'm experimenting with. It was a ceramic bust that I made. It's real, it's solid. I made this when I was in undergraduate school, and I got into sculpture. And without all of the color on there, it was very realistic. I did it from a model. And here's the back of her head. She actually wore this in her hair. So this is kind of a takeoff on the comment, the racial comment, people of color. I thought, well, I wonder if someone is blue, would that be a person of color? And then I just began having fun with it. Added this real fabric here. and then it became a color problem. And experimenting with this, I might remove this, and not quite sure what color I'm going to do with her hair, but I'm thinking I may do the hair all black, or maybe not black, but dark maroon, and then go back and emphasize each hair like what the old masters did with their little very fine paintbrushes, just to see what happens. It's mainly just playing around just to see what I can come up with. And I thought I might add this as a kind of a like she's some kind of a queen, but I thought, no, that's a little bit too corny. So once again, it's just an experiment. And then this is an Osama image. It's from Time magazine cover, and of course it wasn't like this. And then here is the bullet from the special forces that will kill them. And then I say he is risen, with the idea that, wow, did we make Osama a Christ? He's resurrected, with a big W here. If you turn it upside down, which I did on purpose, emphasize this W to mean George W. Bush, because he's probably he and Osama are one and the same as far as I'm concerned. And let's see, there were a couple other of these which I don't quite have handy now. Just playing around with them. So if you want to stop recording from